Let me begin with a question. Have you ever stood in front of the mirror, looked yourself in the eyes and thought, I should be further by now? Maybe it was after a setback, a business that didn't work, a relationship that fell apart, a dream you shelved for later, and later never came. Well, let me tell you what I've learned. Life doesn't ask for your permission to test you. It simply shows up with a storm. But here's the good news, and I want you to write this down if you can. The storm doesn't break you. It reveals whether you've built a shelter. You see, becoming unbreakable isn't about avoiding pain. It's not about pretending to be strong. It's about learning how to build yourself from the inside out, brick by brick, principle by principle. In this talk, I'm going to give you 7 steps. Not tricks, not hacks, but principles, time-tested, pressure-tested, life-tested, that can make you so strong inside the outside world can't shake you. Why should you stay with me until the end? Because by the time we finish, you won't just feel better. You'll be better. You'll walk away with a blueprint, a roadmap to becoming someone that no hardship, no failure, no betrayal, no crisis can ever break again. Let's begin. Life is a test, and you're the student, not the victim. That's the first realization, and it might be the most important one. See, one of the greatest shifts a person can ever make in their life is to stop asking, why is this happening to me? And instead ask, what is this here to teach me? The moment you shift that question, your entire world changes. Most people live their lives believing they are the product of their circumstances, when in reality, they are the product of their philosophy. And if your philosophy tells you that you're at the mercy of the world, then you've already surrendered your power. But if you believe that life is a school, and every hardship, every disappointment, every delay is a class you must take in order to graduate to the next level, suddenly you stop resisting the challenge and start learning from it. Now, let's be honest. Some of life's tests come without warning. You don't get a study guide. You don't get a multiple choice. No, life throws you the test and then it watches to see what you're made of. Will you fall apart or will you rise above? Will you complain or will you grow? And here's the secret. Life repeats the test until you pass it. If you don't learn how to deal with rejection, guess what? More rejection is on the way. If you don't learn how to stay calm under pressure, the pressure doesn't go away. It intensifies. Life isn't punishing you. It's trying to prepare you. And only when you embrace the role of the student will you begin to unlock the lessons hidden in the struggle. You don't become unbreakable by cruising through life. You become unbreakable by being broken and choosing to rebuild. You become unbreakable by being stretched and not snapping. The strongest steel has been through the hottest fire. And some of the most incredible people I've ever met, leaders, parents, entrepreneurs, mentors, they didn't become who they are because life was kind to them. They became who they are because life was tough on them, and they chose to get better instead of bitter. They studied the test. They stayed the course. They graduated. So what does this mean for you? It means you stop resenting your problems and start respecting them. Because within every problem is a hidden lesson, and within that lesson is a new level of strength waiting to be earned. The question is, will you do the homework? Will you stay in class even when you want to drop out? Will you show up with a pen in hand ready to learn? Because if you do, you'll begin to build something inside yourself that no failure, no loss, no storm can ever take away. And that is the beginning of becoming unbreakable. Discipline is the foundation of all strength. It's not glamorous. It's not loud. It doesn't ask for applause, but it builds the life that applause eventually shows up for. Most people wait for motivation. They wait to feel ready. But the unbreakable ones, they don't wait. They decide, because they've learned a simple truth. Discipline does not care how you feel. Discipline shows up when you're tired. It shows up when you're uninspired. It shows up when the crowd is gone, the noise is quiet, and it's just you and the choice in front of you. You want to be strong? Start by doing what you said you would do long after the mood you set it in has left. That's where real power is born. It's in the early morning wake-up when the bed is warm. It's in saying no to the impulse and yes to the principle. It's in the repeated decision to delay pleasure for the sake of purpose. Let me tell you, most people know what to do. That's never the issue. The difference between the average and the exceptional is not information. It's implementation. It's follow-through. It's sticking to the plan on the days you feel like throwing it out the window. Now, don't misunderstand. Discipline isn't about being harsh on yourself. It's not punishment, it's investment. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you make a deposit in your strength account. You add brick after brick to your inner fortress. You may not see the growth right away. It may not feel exciting. But trust me, it's happening. Compound effort is always quiet in the beginning. It doesn't shout, it whispers, keep going. And if you listen, it rewards you with results that motivation could never deliver. And here's the key. Discipline doesn't remove hardship. It prepares you for it. Life will still challenge you, but you'll be stronger, sharper, more rooted. When others are panicking, you'll be poised. When others quit, you'll dig in. Why? Because you've trained for it. You've built the habit of showing up, of finishing what you start, of doing what needs to be done whether the mood is there or not. You see, discipline is the difference between wishing and becoming, between hoping and having. The people you admire didn't get there by luck. They got there by consistency. And consistency is nothing more than discipline in motion. So if you want to build a life you're proud of, don't wait for the perfect moment. Build the habit, make the decision, and repeat it tomorrow and the day after. Because strength, the kind that doesn't crumble when the pressure comes, that strength is built, not born. And the tool that builds it? That's discipline. Every time. Build emotional muscle, not just mental strategy. You can have the best ideas, the best goals, the smartest plan on paper, but if your emotions are out of shape, you'll collapse under pressure every single time. Life doesn't just test your knowledge, it tests your nerves. And no amount of intelligence can substitute for emotional strength when things start to fall apart. You've probably seen it. The sharpest person in the room, with all the credentials, all the ambition, but one harsh word, one unexpected obstacle, and they unravel. Why? Because they never trained their emotions to hold the weight of real life. Mental strategy will get you in the game. Emotional resilience will keep you there. The unbreakable understand this. They don't just work on what they know, they work on who they are. They don't just study books, they study their reactions. They watch how they respond when someone criticizes them, when a deal falls through, when a loved one lets them down. And instead of reacting with blame, anger, or self-pity, they pause, they breathe, they choose. Because emotion is energy. And if you don't learn to manage it, it will manage you. Now let me be clear. This isn't about suppressing how you feel. This is about mastering how you express it. It's not strength to pretend nothing bothers you. It's strength to feel the frustration, the fear, the anxiety, and still make wise decisions. It's strength to get knocked down and not take it personally. It's strength to lose something or someone and still move forward step by step with grace and clarity. That's emotional muscle. And just like physical muscle, it doesn't grow without resistance. The very situations that upset you are the ones that train you. The uncomfortable moments are the gym, and most people walk out the minute it gets hard. But not you. Not if you want to be unbreakable. Here's something else to think about. Emotional maturity gives you the ability to carry others when they're not strong enough to carry themselves. You become someone people can count on. Not just when things are easy, but when things are chaotic. You bring calm to the storm instead of adding to it. And let me tell you, that kind of presence is rare, and it's powerful. People follow the strongest emotional energy in the room, and if that energy is yours, you become a leader, whether you have a title or not. So how do you build emotional muscle? The same way you build anything, consistently. You reflect, you practice self-awareness, you learn to pause before you react. You replace reactivity with responsibility. And over time, you begin to trust yourself, not just in the sunshine, but in the storm. That trust becomes confidence, and that confidence becomes composure. And when you have composure under fire, you don't just survive life's challenges, you rise through them. That is the mark of someone truly unbreakable. Your philosophy determines your path, not your circumstances, not your luck, not even your talent. It's your philosophy, your set of core beliefs about life, work, people, and yourself that directs your every decision. Most people don't even realize they have one. But you do. We all do. It's that quiet voice in your head when no one's watching. It's the reason behind the choices you make, the reason you get up or hit snooze, the reason you speak up or stay silent, the reason you keep going or give up. See, your philosophy is like the map you carry through life, and if the map is wrong, you'll end up in the wrong place no matter how fast you run. Some people believe life is hard, unfair, and stacked against them. And guess what? Life tends to agree with them. Others believe life is an opportunity, a blessing, a field to be cultivated, and life also agrees with them. Why? Because your mind goes to work proving whatever you believe to be true. So if you believe you can't, your brain will search for evidence to confirm that. If you believe you're not good enough, smart enough, strong enough, you'll find plenty of proof. But if you choose a different philosophy, one that says, I was built to overcome, every challenge is a chance, setbacks are setups, suddenly your eyes open to possibilities that were always there, but your old beliefs had covered them up. Now here's something I learned early on. A borrowed philosophy won't hold under pressure. You can copy someone else's habits, someone else's morning routine, someone else's quotes, but unless you believe what they believe, you won't do what they do when it counts. That's why you must take time to develop your own way of thinking. Ask yourself, what do I truly believe about effort, about failure, about success, about people, about myself? And then, and this is critical, you must question those beliefs. Where did they come from? Are they serving me? Or are they keeping me stuck? The Unbreakable have done this work. They've chosen their philosophy on purpose. And because of that, they're not easily shaken by life. Where others see problems, they see patterns. Where others see endings, they see new beginnings. They don't panic when things go wrong, because their philosophy tells them that struggle is part of the process, and growth is on the other side. That philosophy becomes their anchor in the storm. It keeps them from drifting. It holds them steady when emotions rise and circumstances shift. And here's the beauty of it. Philosophy isn't fixed. You can change it. You can upgrade it. You can trade in a defeated mindset for a determined one. But you must do it consciously. Nobody wakes up with a winning philosophy by accident. It's built, it's refined, it's tested, and when it's strong enough, it becomes the quiet power behind every strong person you know. Because when your philosophy is right, your future is already on the way. Crisis is the greatest classroom. It's the one nobody signs up for, but everyone attends. You don't get a syllabus. You don't get to choose your seat. And most of the time, you don't even get a warning bell before the lesson begins. But make no mistake, every crisis you face is teaching you something. And if you pay attention, if you stay awake in the middle of the discomfort, you'll walk out of it with something far more valuable than just survival. You'll walk out with wisdom. Now, I understand. It's hard to be grateful when you're hurting. It's hard to think clearly when the floor falls out from under you. But I want to offer you something. What if the crisis isn't here to destroy you? What if it's here to develop you? See, comfort rarely demands more from you. But crisis pushes you. It squeezes you. It strips away what's unnecessary and exposes what's essential. It shows you what you really believe. It reveals the habits you've neglected, the character you've built, or haven't. And sometimes, the pain is the only thing loud enough to wake you up. Some people hear a whisper and respond. Others need the storm. And that's not a weakness, that's just reality. Some of life's best transformations are born in the middle of the mess. Now the question is, how do you respond when crisis comes? Do you fall apart or do you look for the lesson? Do you point fingers or do you take inventory? Most people try to rush through difficulty. They want it over fast. But if you try to escape the classroom too early, you miss the teaching. And here's the hard truth. The lesson will repeat until you learn it. whether it's finances, relationships, discipline, self-worth. If you don't grow, the next crisis will look very familiar. So instead of asking, "When will this end?" try asking, "What is this here to teach me?" That shift in question changes everything. You don't become unbreakable by running from the fire. You become unbreakable by learning how to breathe in the middle of it. You learn how to stay calm, how to think clearly, how to move forward even when things are uncertain. Crisis forces you to find your inner reserves, the strength you didn't know you had, the courage you hadn't needed before. It stretches your spirit. It sharpens your mind. And once you've made it through, you carry that strength with you into every room, every decision, every conversation that follows. And let me tell you something, people will feel it. There's a quiet power in someone who's been through the storm and stayed standing. Not angry, not bitter, just wiser, stronger, more rooted. That's the kind of strength you can't buy, and you can't fake. It has to be earned, and it's usually earned in a crisis. You can't borrow strength, you have to build it. And that's where most people get it wrong. They look at someone strong, composed, unwavering under pressure and think, "I wish I had that." But strength doesn't come from wishing. It doesn't come from inspiration alone. Strength is not something you can download. You can't read enough quotes or attend enough seminars to become strong if you're not willing to do the work. See, strength, real, lasting, unshakable strength, is built in private, when no one's clapping, when no one's watching, when it's just you and the discipline you keep or abandon. You can borrow motivation for a moment. You can get fired up by someone else's speech, someone else's victory. But motivation is a spark. It fades. Strength is the fire that stays lit even when the wind picks up. And that kind of fire is built through repetition, through struggle, through showing up day after day, especially on the days you don't feel like it. That's where the roots go deep. That's where your inner foundation is poured. And once it's there, no storm can take it from you. That's why the strongest people aren't always the loudest. They're the most consistent. The ones who did the work when it wasn't exciting, when no one gave them a round of applause, when they felt like quitting but didn't. Now here's the thing. We live in a world that's addicted to shortcuts. Everybody wants the hack, the secret, the shortcut to success, to confidence, to peace of mind. But strength doesn't deal in shortcuts. It's honest. It tells you, if you want me, you'll have to earn me. And that's a good thing. Because once you've earned it, once you've built your strength from the inside out, it can't be taken from you. Not by a bad day, not by a failed plan, not by a tough conversation, not even by loss. Because it's yours. You built it. And let me say this, there's no shame in starting small. In fact, that's how it always starts. A little more courage than yesterday, a little more self-control, a little more integrity when no one's looking. You stack those decisions, and slowly, brick by brick, you become someone you trust, someone others trust, someone who can stand when others fall. That's the real reward. Not the applause, not the outcome, but becoming the kind of person who can be relied on. The kind of person who doesn't panic in pressure. The kind of person who can lift others because they've already lifted themselves. Strength is not found. It's forged. In small acts, in hard moments, in daily decisions to do the right thing even when it's the hard thing. And when you build it the right way, you don't just survive tough times. You become the kind of person tough times can't break. So, let me leave you with this. Life isn't asking you to be perfect. It's asking you to be prepared. It's not demanding that you never fall, but it is asking, will you get back up smarter? Will you rise better? Will you walk forward stronger than you were yesterday? That is the path of becoming unbreakable. Not untouched by pain, but undefeated by it. Not shielded from storms, but steady within them. You've learned the steps. Life is the test. And every single day, you are either becoming weaker or stronger, closer to collapse, or closer to your core. It doesn't happen in a day. It happens daily. Through philosophy, through discipline, through emotional mastery, through learning, through choices, through crises. Through work, no one applauds, but everyone eventually sees. And here's the beautiful part. The world doesn't need more perfect people. It needs more anchored ones. People who've done the inner work. People who've faced the fire and found their voice. People who are rooted, steady, reliable, not because life has been easy, but because they chose to grow in the hard places. That can be you. That must be you. Because the people around you, your family, your friends, your team, they don't need your perfection. They need your strength. The quiet kind, the real kind, the kind that doesn't break. So wherever you are on this journey, stay on it. Don't just listen to this once, live it daily. Let this be the day you stop being impressed by strength in others and start building it within yourself. Let this be the day you stop being tossed by life and start standing tall in it. Because life doesn't get easier. You get stronger. That's the path. That's the power. That's how you become unbreakable. Thank you.